So may I ask then, just to interrupt, so it's importantly this, we may call it a rapprochement of sorts has taken place between Greece and Turkey in recent years. We have the continuation of this high-level dialogue, which is, despite the backdrop of conflict in the wider region, this dialogue has continued over the past few years. I'd like to hear from both of you what you think that has, how important it is, what it's achieved so far, and where do you see it going? And do you think, I mean, important agreements have been made in all sorts of areas, but do you think it's also possible that this dialogue could lead to agreement on some of the thornier issues, the maritime delineation and so on and so forth?
Can I?
Of course.
Thank you, Ahmed. Hear that. In the year 2012, when we were both ministers of foreign affairs, we had signed 25 agreements. And at that time, the climate was totally different. The situation escalated. It happens. There are ups and downs in the Greek-Turkish relations. But I will focus on one issue. Forget all about the others. I was always in favor, and we have discussed it in the past, how can we solve the Cyprus issue? And I'll tell you why. Beyond historical and emotional reasons, it is in the interest of both countries and of the region to solve this problem. I'll tell you why. From the moment Cyprus is reunited, then as a state can immediately proceed to delimitation of maritime issues with all countries in the region, including delimitation between Cyprus and Greece, Cyprus and Turkey, and what is the consequence? Then directly Turkey and Greece. So we shouldn't abstain from finding a solution to this issue, because you talked before about the big issues in Eastern Mediterranean. What is the main issue in Eastern Mediterranean? The delimitation of maritime zones. So, historically, politically, we can reach an agreement there. Because nowadays, I listen to people saying that the only solution is to see this country divided. No, it is not what we need today, because it will become a permanent nucleus of crisis and destabilization of the region.
Thanks.
I fully agree, but let me clarify my position in a very frank manner, from my heart. We are in the same region. We are neighbors. Our history is same. Our culture, our cafe is same. Everything is same. When I became chief advisor, as the new Turkish foreign policy, I declared zero problems with neighbors.
Yes, they will come.
Zero problems with our neighbors. That was my principle. Many people thought this is a very utopic. Yes, I am a historian. I know that there cannot be zero problems between brothers and sisters as well. But first, you have to make a psychological shock to the elites who think that Turkey is eternal enemy of Greece, or in Ankara, those who think Greeks are eternal enemy of Turkey. Same with Russia, same with Arab countries. That psychological shock was important. When we came to 2010, in Athens, we had joint cabinet meeting. I was Minister of Foreign Affairs. We signed 22 agreements. With my dear friend, he is really an exemplary good relation between two of us. In 2013, we signed 25 new agreements in Istanbul. Altogether, 47 agreements in 2 years. While in 90 years back, Turkey and Greece signed only 35 agreements. So it is up to you how you approach your issues. Today, I was a little bit, sorry, again from my heart, Dimitri, if you don't mind, when I listened to Mr. President Tassalos and my dear friend Dora and also Dan Diaz, Minister of Defense, I have all the answers to their positions. These are national positions. They said Turkish invasion. I would say no. There was a coup d'etat in Cyprus which changed the status quo, and it was an obligation for Turkey based on international law to intervene. Or I could say if Greek Cypriot side accepted Kofi Annan plan in 2004, today we would have been together in EU. So there are always an argument. Mr. Dandias mentioned the casus belli. I think many people misunderstand this. In NATO, no need to use this. We can talk bilateral. It is not NATO issue. There is no casus belli as it has been described. On 1st of June 1995, Greek side unilaterally declared the new territorial waters of Greece as 12 miles. I hope one day those who do not understand our approach fly over Aegean Sea. If 12 miles is accepted, a Turkish ship cannot go from Istanbul to Izmir without permission of Greek side. So Turkish parliament responded, please don't do it. Now what is solution? Very simple. Greek side may say, we do not claim 12 miles until a negotiated solution is being established. And Turkey would say, there is no casus belli or anything. It is not so big problem. But what did we achieve with Dimitri or with other leaders before? Instead of declaring to each other national positions in a very high volume, it is better cooperate. So then things will be seen very low level. I was a little bit surprised when I listened that in this new European structure, some Greek friends feels this is a threat for Greece because Turkey would get some financial support from EU, from NATO, EU, about European security structure should be established first in this region by Greek-Turkish cooperation. We are not against each other. We should have a common approach. And on regional stake, I will just, in Balkans and Middle East, we can do many other things together. It is better to develop positive agenda instead of accusing each other again and claiming the national positions. There are always answers to each other. With just one point, let me say brother Dimitri, my cousin. But Dimitri, I am sure we remember all exploratory talks between Turkey and Greece in 2012-13 when it was going very well. When our team went on the way to Athens, I told them, please make empathy. Understand what Greeks' concerns are and act accordingly. We want a creative solution. If we make empathy to each other, there is no problem not being resolved. But important is vision.
Okay, Dimitri, come back, and then we're more or less out of time, but I want to just the last thing about the Middle East.
I will make a comment. Since Ahmed referred to casus belli, we have discussed about it many times. If a war is going to happen, do you think that there will be a warning before? What history has taught us? I think it is a useless obstacle in our relations. It's a useless obstacle. Some people preserve it. Why? Because it is also true to say that we are not all of us open-minded. There are some other circles within our countries who are afraid of opening their minds. I'm afraid it happens. It has happened many times before. And when we refer before to Venizelos and Ataturk, it was exactly to show that what we need is bold leadership. Definitely, Greece is not threatening Turkey. On the other hand, Greece is the bridge of Turkey towards Europe. And we have discussed it many times in the past. What we want from our side is to have a stable Turkey on our borders. What is happening within Turkey? Sorry, Ahmed, it's your own business.
Yes.
Okay.
Family business.
Because sometimes there are comments on what's happening within Turkey, on domestic politics and all these things. So I believe that what we need is to keep talking to each other, to foster respect between us, to stop threatening each other. Because I see also nationalists from both sides making our life difficult every day on the TV programs. No. What we need now is pragmatism, respect history, respect the other, and keep this road open. Dialogue, dialogue, dialogue. I want to make one more comment. Till 2019, All these issues that were raised after that were sleeping. Why do I say sleeping? Because no side could take the decision to withdraw what is qualified as strong national position. But we managed during our times to have these issues sleeping. So there was only one issue open: how to proceed to a dialogue in order to delimitate our national, not national waters, but our sovereignty rights over the Aegean Sea and the rest. We have to keep talking about it. And I'm in favor of this dialogue, because what has happened in the past reminds us that whenever we reach the edge on our relations, a catastrophe had followed. And it is not to our generations to permit such an unthinkable thing to happen again.